New Year's does not come until next week, but of course Christmas Eve also a time for reflection. So here now, the top stories of 2013 as reported by ABC News and through the voices of the people who lived them.
Oh my God, it's huge! Go, 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 go!
We're looking at a sweep of storms rumbling and shape-shifting.
It's just total devastation.
Roofs just started to fly in all directions. And then the water just started coming.
We're just doing as much as we can.
More than half the runners were through. The first bomb explodes. A look at what the victim saw inside Navy Yard Building 197.
He aimed his gun at us and he fired.
I heard the first shot. A teacher, he got shot straight in the chest.
A TSA officer is not going to go home to their family.
It is nothing short of a miracle that we had literally 123 people walk away from this.
Opponents and supporters of Egypt's ousted president firing guns and fireworks.
Our nation has lost its greatest son.
This fight about serious chemical weapons is not a game. It's real.
Armed terrorists are reportedly holding roughly a dozen hostages inside the Westgate Mall.
We, the jury, find George Zimmerman not guilty.
Manning was convicted of 20 of the 22 major charges, including espionage, theft, and computer fraud.
Every hour that ticks by puts our country closer to a shutdown.
Mr. Snowden is accused of leaking classified information.
We do not spy on anyone except for valid foreign intelligence purposes.
The website has not worked as well as it should.
Frozen pages, crashes.
If you like your plan, you can keep your plan.
Please help me, I'm Amanda Berry. I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 10 years and I'm here, I'm free now.
DOMA being overturned, obviously incredibly ecstatic.
Habemus Papa.
Welcome to humble duty, a future king.
The year goes by very, very quickly. I assumed that the Boston Marathon bombing was going to be the #1 story of the year if you even had to rank them all. Some of those stories I've forgotten about. The year goes by so much.
Well, I was very disappointed that they overlooked the long overdue induction of Kiss into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because for me, that's the story of last year. But putting that to one side.
Do we have to do crickets? Can we play crickets for Mark? With the
I think, seriously, that Snowden is the story of the year, not so much for what he did or all the nonsense that surrounded it, but the conversation that he spurred by doing what he did. I know they put him on the cover of Time as the person of the year, or
it would have been. He was #2. Pope Francis was #1.
Well, that is, and deservedly so, because he's doing extraordinary things in revolutionizing the Vatican.
Is that how you're going to remember 2013 as the year of Edward Snowden?
I think not him as him, because I don't support what he did and I have no particular respect or admiration for him. But the repercussions of what he did are going to be felt for a very long time, and we're going to be having a very long debate about how to apply an old Fourth Amendment to emerging technologies in the 21st century, and that's not going to be settled for quite some time.
Well, part of that comes with the court case moving forward in Washington. What's your takeaway from? What's the one that you pluck out? What do you?
I guess we've been doing this too long in terms of covering news stories, because you do have a short memory.
Yeah.
I guess I would say the bombing at the Boston Marathon, how that basically shut the country down for a few days, and it was nice to see how law enforcement put it together to get the suspect. The man was one of the two responsible for doing this, but also the Zimmerman trial stands out. The way that the president mishandled Obamacare.
I must have Obamacare and the shutdown as almost canceling each other off. They were like opposite ends of the screw-up spectrum.
Hasn't been a good year. I mean, if you think about it, it's been a lot of really not good stuff this past year.
That's why I might go with Pope Francis, just because of the message. It's something we've never heard coming from a pope before. The message of inclusion and acceptance, and that might change some hearts and some minds. And
well, but how much? I mean, the worldwide influence of the Catholic Church as an institution is not what it was. So,
which may be why they're doing. We're going to wrap things up on this edition of RFL after a quick break. Stay with us.